𝐜𝐴𝐻𝐿.
It's your fault for dodging, 𝐒𝐡𝐴𝐻𝐿.
I did not
Why is
dodge it.
this
That was
happening?
a perfectly legal receipt.
No, tails are against the rules.
Oh, you learned the rules. Not bad, dumb dog.
Who are you calling
When it
dumb?
comes to these types of filler episodes that are pretty much just all fan service, it's always a really hard time to really sit down and review them, to be honest. I mean, Booba? More Booba? Extra Booba? Daisuke? You know, it really is quite difficult to come in and really just review these kinds of episodes. One of the things I'll say about this episode was Beta, as per usual, was the highlight of this episode. You know, going and crying her dragon tears, her elven princess tears, and low key summoning a dragon of folktale. That was of a really old thing that they had in their mind when Sid and the girls were younger. And he kind of said it as a whim, but like most of the things, including, you know, the cult of Diablos, it seems this world is kind of being molded by Sid's thoughts a lot of the times. That's kind of where I've landed when it comes to Eminence and Shadow, is this is a world born of his own desires, essentially. Or at least he has a lot of directive and manipulation of the world, right? It's very, very, like, it's less than 1% that he would drum up something that was on a bottle of chili sauce and give it a name, and that happens to actually be a viable enemy. And, you know, in this scene, he was talking about, you know, or they were talking about a folklore, and he was talking about the dragon's tears, and he was just bullshitting, right? He was just being Chinibio. And this ended up being a real thing, you know, it just, you know, to kind of like go all the way around and really just end up making a hot spring, you know, type episode. This episode lacks Sid completely, which is totally okay to lack Sid. It instead featured the girls of Shadow Garden, which, you know, always love to be able to see the, you know, the girls of Shadow Garden here. And they were all on display, from Alpha to Delta to, you know, to Beta, to all the different girls. We even got to see the vampire girl come in with her maid. We got to see Princess Alexia, which, you know, anytime Princess Alexia gets some screen time is always a really nice thing to see. But mainly this was featuring Sid's two dumb friends, and, you know, with featuring his two dumb friends, you know, they got to do all their antics. They ended up losing their memory. They ended up getting sprayed in the face. They ended up, you know, kind of being the key to unlocking the dragon's tears, all this other stuff. And at the end of it, the girls found meaning in Sid's disappearance, with him trying to let them know his affection for them and needing them to have a day off. That's how they took it. Ultimately, the only thing missing from this fan service episode was at the end credits. I was expecting for them to actually show us where Sid was actually at, or what he was actually doing, which was essentially just ignoring their existence, doing his own Chuny thing, as I would surmise. But that was really the only thing missing from this episode. But overall, it was an episode of anime. It was a fan service episode of an anime that we all love and enjoy. Was it one of the better fan service episodes? I don't think so. I mean, unless you just wanted to see all the girls in bikinis and stuff, then if that was what you wanted, or if that was something that you didn't know you wanted that you felt pretty good about, then I would say this is probably a really good episode of fan service anime. For me, you know, I'm not going to be mad at seeing the girls in their bikinis and stuff like that. Like, it just is what it is. I would have much rather a more impactful episode, you know, but hey, fan service does what fan service does, so you can't really be, you know, angry at that whatsoever. So it just kind of is what it is. So anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys on those thoughts there. Let me know what you guys thought about this fan service episode down in the comments below. It was an episode of fan service anime of Eminence and Shadow, featuring Shadow Garden, featuring a story that Sid had with the girls when they were younger girls many years ago, that came to fruition through a spa service hot spring that 𝐜𝐴𝐻𝐿 created. So anyways, let me know what you guys thought. See you guys next week, my friends. Peace out.